tackling Phylloxera. Just going back to what Tyson said a little bit earlier about the tackling Phylloxera program. Just hands up, who's read something or heard about the tackling Phylloxera program? You've done some reading? A few. Well, I'm on the performance-based contract, so there goes my bonus for this year, Gary. So, and just another quick, so how did you find out about the tackling Phylloxera program? Do you go like Google? Is it the AgVic website, the MPVA website? No fair information about these sorts of programs and what we're doing? MPVA, okay. So I'll sort of concentrate on that in the future. Just quickly, the tackling Phylloxera program, it's 6 projects. And as Tyson said before, $1 million for 6 projects. Project number 1, which is kind of where Catherine tied into, which is better diagnostics. Project number 2 is development of a long-term strategy for Phylloxera management in Victoria. Project 3, which I'm directly involved with, which is a research project. And in that research project, that's me going out to industry. And the reason for me to go out to industry, and that'll all take place over the next three months or so, I need to know what you know about biosecurity. I need to know what you know about Phylloxera management. And I need to know where you get that information from and how you hear about that information. And so over the next 3 months, I'll be out talking to industry on a one-to-one basis, focus group basis, online through the MPVA website, the VVB website, AgVic website, trying to get as much information from you people about what you know about biosecurity Phylloxera and how you relate that information, where there are gaps in the information, where you want to know about more information. And then we're going to use that research in Project 4 of the Tackling Phylloxera program, is a new statewide awareness program. So we'll take what we know, take what we don't know, and we'll find out what the gaps are, and then we'll build a whole new awareness program around that. Hopefully in the next 18 months or so, when I ask who knows about tackling Phylloxera, everyone will put their hands up. Project 5 is the review of the VVBC. That's taken place and that's underway. And then project number 6, which is the Mornington Peninsula rezoning project. So that brings us to today. Any questions about tackling, just before I move on? Anyone got any questions about tackling Phylloxera, the entire program, the 6 projects? No? Good. Project 6, which is this one. So what we tried to do, and I'll whip through this because I know we're conscious of time today. We've tried to collaborate with the MPVA and the steering group to really make sure that the rezoning of the Peninsula is a PZ, that we're all on board. We're all playing off the same sheet music. That was our aim with engagement. Then we had a communication aim at the same time. We've tried to promote the project and everything that's been taking place so far, and build awareness of a best practice biosecurity, and that's kind of what we've been talking about today with the scenarios and the rezoning. It's really about best practice biosecurity within your industry here in Mornington Peninsula. So how have we done that? We've produced some great videos, which have all been up on the MPVA website, been on the VVBC website, and I think also on the AgVic website I've put them on. The hero of one of our earlier ones was this young gentleman sitting down here. So if you haven't been to the MPVA website to have a look at these videos, Tyson talks really well about what you mentioned before about Fortress Peninsula. Really articulates it really well. Geraldine, where is she? Geraldine was also a star of one of the videos. Again, they're up on the website now. By all means, have a look. We've created a whole page on the Agriculture Victoria website. There's lots of information about the tackling Phylloxera and then how it connects into the Mornington Peninsula, the rezoning project here. Has anyone looked at the Victorian Viticultural Biosecurity website? That's something you all go to? Okay. That also has a lot of information dedicated to this rezoning project. It's all up there now. And more importantly, going back to what was mentioned, Daniel mentioned before, and that's the link. If you follow that link to stop the spread, On there, comprehensive videos about movement controls, cleaning, some of what requires certification, dealing with contractors. It's all there. Really good, short, brief, succinct videos. There's a pocket guide which you can download, and that kind of also encapsulates the same information that's stated in the videos. And there are fact sheets. So from memory, I think it's about 5 or 6 fact sheets. How do you work with contractors? Cleaning, movement controls, what to do at the cellar door, who should be on the property, who shouldn't be on the property. It's all there on the VVB website, and probably links back to the MPVA website. We've also supplied fact sheets, which that's also on the MPVA website if you need to know more about the rezoning project. Cheryl has put out the newsletter. You can probably see there with links to what's been happening. We've been doing these kind of funky, if you've seen this, about being with these weekly updates. It may not happen because I've linked up. No, cannot play. So we've had these have been each week have been on the VVB's website and the MPVA's website, and that shows how many the progress updates with how many properties have been surveyed each week. And that was, again, as I said, that was on the VVBC's website. Anyone saw those? Hopefully everyone did. We did a great video, contractor and what Brendan was doing in the Mornington Peninsula. That's also there. We've been doing some surveys to find out satisfaction, if the contractors were working well with you guys, weren't working well, so that we did that as well. We had a release, we had a ministerial launch. The member for the Yarra Valley, member for Macedon Ranger, sorry, Marianne Thomas, she was at the launch, which we held at Dylan Grimes. I don't know if we've got any Richmond supporters here. Hopefully not. Dylan is Richmond's centre-half back. He also owns the Mount Macedon Winery. So we launched the entire Tackling Phylloxera program at his winery, at his property back on the 14th of March. We got on Channel 9 News that night. We got on the Bendigo News. We got in local newspapers. The Mornington Peninsula's rezoning project also got a mention during the launch. So it's been a good profile. Internally, we've briefed BAS staff about the rezoning project here. So everyone within the Department of Agriculture Victoria, broader department, has known about what's going on here. Next steps, and that kind of brings me back to today. We're filming this. We're filming the presentations today. But what I'll also do after this is, if I can have 1 or 2 willing volunteers who have been surveyed, I want to get some vox pops with just some comments about how you felt the survey process has come along, where there's been a good experience, a bad experience. So if I don't get any volunteers, Corey from Honeycomb and I will just come up and ask you questions. So hopefully that won't bother you too much. And in that same video, we'll pop that up on the website, the MPVA and the VVBC's website. And that'll explain what's gone on so far and then what's going to happen over the next year or two. I think we'll follow up some feature articles in industry magazines about today and what's the results of today, where we've gone to so far with the rezoning project. I think we'll also target the local papers down this way with some articles about the process to date. And I think one of the keys to it all is we plan to have a chat to tourist operators in the area to make sure that they're aware of what biosecurity is all about. They're aware of the Tackling Phylloxera program and the significance of the rezoning project. Is that something you're conscious of, dealing with tourist operators in the area, that they can be a risk to biosecurity? And so I think we need a communications approach with them as well, which we'll carry out. So our comms going forward, over the next year or two, particularly over the next 6 months before the next survey starts, we're going to continue to build awareness, growers and businesses, how to access the certification, and we'll support you guys by promoting PICs. Everyone's got a PIC. Has anyone not got a property identification code? Gary will take names here if everybody hasn't got their PIC. You're being recorded, so we know.
I don't know if I've got one, but I've got cattle, so I probably do have one.
They should have one.
Yeah.
So I guess if we just highlight that the property identification codes, if you do have one for cattle, all you need to do is just log into the system and add that you've got grapevines to your pick. So it's pretty simple. I think you log in, it'll send you an email saying, is that you? Click into it, basically click that you've got vines and job's done. So it's only a 5-second job. But what that does is that then gives it puts it into our biosecurity database. So when we do have a thing such as if we ever had a detection of Xylella or something like that, basically you'll be the first to hear of anything. So we'd be going through MPVA, but part of our Biosecurity Act is that you need to have a property identification number if you've got more than half a hectare of vines. So if anyone, I doubt anyone here's only got less than half a hectare, but just go into the system, most of you will have them, just as you've got vines, and then basically the job's done.
Who hasn't got a PIC? Okay, we've recorded. We've got your names. And and then over the next 6 months, before the next rezoning, year 2 of the rezoning starts, I'm just going to go out with small focus groups and some comms with the local growers. Find out how, and even today's been a bit of a litmus test at what you've known about the rezoning project, what you know about tackling Phylloxera, and try and continue to build that awareness for the project and for this project and for the entire tackling Phylloxera program. I know I've whipped through this rather quickly, but I'm just conscious of time and getting Catherine. So any questions about the communications? Feel like they've been targeting correctly, or you'd like to know more, or how you prefer to know more? Any comments? No? All good? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Done. Sold. I'll hand over to Catherine.